All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today what we're going to be doing is we are going to be modeling a spider. The spider is going to be kind of a plainer looking spider. So the nice thing about a spider is it does have 8 legs that are very similar to one another. So once you model one leg, you can use it 8 times. So we're going to start off in a right view here, just to kind of start drawing the section view of the spider shape. And I'm going to do the body first and then build out and do the legs. So the body shape is going to be kind of a curve-based system here using straight curves. I don't know, straight curves, right? I'm going to go ahead and turn my grid snap on. I'm in my default template of millimeters here. And I'm going to just kind of start to draw out with ortho off and the grid snap on the shape of the body, which is going to be kind of like this. And then just straight down. Give it a little kickback here. And then straight over to the side here. All right. And then I'm going to come over this way. And I'm going to draw kind of a generalized version of the leg. So the leg is going to have kind of a few segments to it at the beginning. Enter brings up the same command, and we're just using our curves here. And I'll come right, turn the grid snap off because I want to get a little smaller here. And I'll do right there. And then just kind of another rectangular shape here. And actually, I should be closing these off so that they're all one rectangular like area, like unlike this one. This one's fine. This one, I need another line right there. So I'll just draw a line from this endpoint to this endpoint, and then select left to right select here to grab that and join that back together. Okay, and then I'll just do another little line segment here. Okay, and then close it out. So we got the body, and we've got kind of the leg shape here. Now let's go ahead and make this thing kind of 3-dimensional. So starting off in the perspective view here, I'm going to extrude this out slightly. So just grab the little ball here and bring it out, just about like that thick. And then I'm going to array this a little bit here so that we make multiples of it and they kind of arc. So I'm going to go to a front view here. So I'm staring it down. This is our object here. And then I'm going to move it to the 0 here. So I'm going to grab the midpoint here with the move command and then hit 0, enter. That way it's nice and aligned to the y-axis right here. And then I'm going to go array polar. Select my object, extrusion, enter. Select the center of my axis, which will be right here. And then the number of items, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them. And then do I want it to go all the way around in a circle? No. I want it to go about, 45 degrees? Try that. Yes, but I also want it to go both sides around it. So I'm Let me go ahead and do that again. Array polar, center there, number of sides 8. And you know what? Let's just do 4 and 4. Okay, array polar, click in the center here. And then I'm going to do 4, 4, enter, and 45, enter, enter. And then I'm going to do it again from the center point there, enter, and I'll go negative 45. Okay. Switch to perspective here. And now we've got it kind of looking like that. We do notice, of course, that our objects do have this kind of weird pattern that's happening at the bottom here. We can fix that pretty easily in a little bit. And then I also do want to change some of the scales of these so that it kind of looks like it's tapering in a way. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these 2 exterior ones and then shift and scale it this way, just slightly. And then go ahead and move them back into position some. All right. So next up, let's do the legs here. And then I also, actually, you know what? I'm going to grab, let's see if I can do this. Grab Control Shift, click on these edges right here. And then pull them forward. Okay, so just kind of creating a little bit more variation here. So this is just kind of being artistic about it. Okay, so that kind of mimics the head of the spider. And I might pull this one area back here. So Control Shift click or Command Shift click if you have a Mac. And then just kind of pulling it back using the gumball. Okay, so let's next do the legs. So let's go ahead and hide this. And then we have this object here. Let's go ahead and create kind of a cross-section look to things. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a triangle from a front view here. So let's just draw a triangle. I can go polygon and just number of sides. I'll do 3. And then hold down Shift to get it to go at the correct angle here. All right. And then I'm going to rotate it with Shift on there. So I want it to be flat on the bottom, just like that. And then switch back to perspective here. And let's move it onto our object here. Just place it right on there. And we'll pull it. Let's scale, enter, click on this as the base point. And then drag your line out and click and kind of start to move it in, because this is the type of scale tool that will work. Let me disable my snap. As a like a real slow moving scale that I can kind of use from a specific point. All right. And then I'm going to rotate it to fit the line's angle a little bit better. So I'm just kind of building the cross sections here. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit Alt to copy this one over here, move it onto this line, re-enable my snaps here so I can grab it from that point and put it onto that point. And I'm going to move this one back over to there. Okay, and then I'm going to Alt copy this. Well, actually, let's see. First, I got to rotate it a little bit, scale it out a little bit, scale, click on this is the base point, and scale it up a little bit to fit more similar there. Move base point here to there. Okay. Alt, copy this one, move it from this point here to this point there, and then scale. Grab the base point there, drag out, and kind of eyeball it as it comes in to about there. Okay. And one more time for the end up here. Alt, whoops. Move and scale. Click and drag out. All right. So let's see if this works. So I'm going to go ahead and explode these so that they're no longer in sets of 4 here. So let's go ahead and explode those because I want to use these as guide rails on the tops and the bottom here. So I'm going to use a command called sweep 2. Enter. So then you click on a rail, and click on a cross section and hit enter, enter. And then I'm going to go ahead and say OK. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one. We'll do, 2 rails, click on the rail, click on the rail, click on the cross section, enter, enter. Okay. Click on this one, cross section, enter, enter. Okay. Click on this one, cross section, enter, enter. Okay. All right, so now we have kind of this spidery looking leg thing. Now to make it kind of more similar to our other version, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the bottom surfaces and then offset it so that it has a like a thickness to it. So it's like made out of metal or sheets of paper or whatever. So now I'm going to extract surface. I'm going to get rid of this one, this one, this one, this one, enter, and then hit delete. Okay. And then I'm going to offset surface. It's like this one, this one, this one, and this one. We can do them all at once. Enter. And then how much do we want it to be? Let's do 1 millimeter, see how that looks. Maybe 2 millimeters. So let's undo it, enter, and then let's do 2 millimeters. Oops, I did it twice. Okay. Let's try offsetting it in actually. Let's flip all so they go inward. Enter. Yeah, that looks better. All right. So now let's go ahead and select these segments, move it over here, and then I can kind of hide on a new layer. Change object layer, turn it off. So get rid of the curves. Now let's go ahead and bring everything back and go up here to edit, select objects, and select the curves, and then right click, change object layer to get rid of any curves. Okay, so now we turn these into legs. And then we just kind of move these over here, kind of alternate to rotate it around a little bit. Let's group them together so that it's easier to move. Let's go to a top view here. And let's see how it looks when I place them. Let's mirror it from my 0 here. Shift to mirror it that way. Let's then mirror these this direction. Shift to mirror it that way. And then let's go ahead and copy these. Ooh. Hit Alt, copy them up. And Alt, copy them here. Okay. Maybe I'll just get rid of this side. Let's actually go ahead and make them look right on one side and then mirror it to the other side. So get the 4 on this side looking the way we want. And they're all kind of coming from a similar spot on this thorax area here. So let's move this up. Okay. All right, let's scale down some of them so they're a little smaller here on the top. Okay. Oh, I should have grouped this together too. All right, let's mirror it onto the other side. From 0, shift, click. All right. Now let's move these down in space so they look about right. If I go to a front view here, move them down, down, down. Okay, so let's look at it now in rendered. Yeah, so that's kind of a cool looking little planar little spider. Just having a little fun with some basic extrusions and simple kind of objects. So yeah, so that's basically it. We can add some materials to it if we want, and maybe have it hanging in space or something instead of down on the ground. So let's go into materials and go ahead and right click on it and create new. And I'll just do a paint material, and let's see what color we should do. Maybe like a brownish kind of blackish color. Make it kind of like a wolf spider. Select the whole thing, and then assign to objects. Cool. All right. And then if we want to make it like hang in space, we can do that too. I can rotate it. Let's group the whole thing together so that it's now all one group. Okay. And then let's do like a pipe coming out of it so that it looks like it's hanging from some web. So do a line straight up. Go ahead and go pipe. And we want to do a 1 diameter, enter. Okay. Yeah, and if you wanted to, we can even make a spider web. Let's go ahead and hide this. Well, let's figure out what size we want in comparison. So let's just go ahead and draw a circle. I want the spider web to be, let's go to a front view, sorry. Front view, spider web, maybe that big, okay. And then hide this. All right, and then just let's pull up the line tool here. Just kind of start to create some grid structures here. Hide, get rid of that. All right. Let's do a line, both sides line, middle. If I hit B, it does both sides. B. B. And B. Enter. Okay. All right, and let's do some curves. So let's just zoom in here, do a curve here. We wanted to hide the spider itself also because you don't want to accidentally snap onto it when you're doing this. You want to keep your lines nice and flat against the y-axis, which is the, the grid. Let's just say the grid. So that way you don't have any going back and forth in space. You want to make it kind of flat. Okay. And I can even just go Alt, Shift, Alt, Shift, Alt, Shift, Alt, Shift, and scale it out as I'm going. Okay. Now, no, the lines didn't end up and match up perfectly. So, but I do think that these lines are easier to draw than those curves. So I'm just going to remake those parts just by using my polyline tool here, and it also kind of gives it a little bit more randomness. And then the last thing we do is we select everything and we go pipe. And maybe I'll do 2 millimeter thickness. Maybe I should have done 3. Let's do pipe, 3, enter, enter. Okay, and if we look at it back in perspective here, whoa, 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 why are you not flat? Yeah, I don't know why it did not go as flat as it should have here. Okay, so let's just do this then. If you notice your beautiful spider web is not flat, all you got to do is let's undo, turn it back to lines, and go make 2D. And then hit OK. And what that did is it now made a flat version right here. See, that one's flat. And then just let's rotate it. Go back to our front view. Let's get rid of you. And then maybe I want to kind of play with it a little bit on the scales. Okay. And then we can go pipe, enter, enter. Now, when we look at it in perspective, we've got a flat spider web. Or we can try multi-pipe, which will turn it into a sub D. So it might actually blend the piping a little bit better. If I select a strut of like 3, what that basically means is like areas where they kind of come close together, you can select a different strut. I've got the radius at 3 as well. If I do 10 instead of 3, it makes that little center point a little bit better there. Okay, so let's go back into shaded here, or into rendered here. And it's awfully bright in here. So let's bring back our spider. Let's now move this background up. And I think I want to change some of the background here. So let's, where did the sub D go? Oh, I must not have accepted it. Multi-pipe. Enter. There we go. And then let's grab it, group it, and move it. Now it's time to stage our scene. All right. Then we go, let's go to rendering and render it out. So I'm going to do a background gradient here. Yeah. And let's see, what color should we use at the bottom? Okay. And then at the top, I might want to go like darker. Spider-Man. All right. Let's kind of get a good angle there. And I'm going to go ahead and say custom environment for reflections is fine. Ground plane. I don't even need a ground plane. I'm going to turn that off. Sky light intensity. Okay. Too intense. All right. And then let's do our resolution. Gonna go 4:3, 3200, 2400, just like that. Let's do a render preview real quick. Click on the render preview there. So yeah, I think it looks good. All right, let's go ahead and render it out full res and move it up to final quality, and maybe I'll move it over a little bit more. And 4:3, no, I want a little bit. Let's do 16:9 here. One more render preview. Looks good. All right, the last thing I'm going to do is I actually want to lower the reflections on this. I think it's too reflective for my taste, and so I'm going to get rid of some of the reflections on the material here. So materials, I'm going to bump it to matte. Okay, cool. And then I'm ready to hit the render switch here, or just type the word render, whatever you want to do. All right, so I think this is kind of the final version that I'm going to go with. I changed the colors. I didn't like the dark, and I also didn't like that black and red gradient, so I went ahead and just made it a black, solid background, and then changed to like this fleshy pink kind of color for the spider, just to give it a little bit of contrast. And once you get it rendered, we're going to save the render, and that's it. So hopefully you found this useful, and continue to just hack around with and play with the modeling capabilities of Rhino 8. Thank you.